So, welcome to the show. We are here with our friend Ahmed, who's visiting us from Dubai. Now, Ahmed runs TALA Global Alliance Logistics, which is its specialty is on AOG shipments and aircraft and all that related to that niche. And today we're going to talk about how speed and reliability is very important, especially in this niche, this aerospace niche. So, thank you, Ahmed, for being with us today.
Thank you.
So, very quickly, who are you and how do you get here? What was your intro into logistics and how are you running one of the most renamed networks in the space, in the aerospace?
Well, try to make it short. So my name is Ahmed. I'm 39, Moroccan national, born in France. I come into logistics let's say 15 years ago now. I started my business 10 years ago. So I was living in China at that time. So I was doing logistics without really knowing it. I had a good business in mainland China and in Hong Kong. And this is how I come to a very time-critical business because my business at that time was time-critical. So I was running around the world, buying samples, buying different things, and I was pretty much doing onboard courier services for myself.
Oh, wow.
Without knowing it.
For the audience, what's onboard courier service? That's OBC, right?
Yes.
So what does that mean?
Yeah, so OBC stands for onboard courier, and it's basically used by several industries. Usually, automotive is a big user of the OBC services. Obviously, you have the aerospace. You have also the luxury, garments. There is a lot of fashion shows who needs speed, and few others, but that's the main ones. So basically, let's take the example of the aerospace because that's my specialty. The aerospace and an aircraft on ground can cost. It depends on the type of aircraft, but can cost millions. Literally millions. If you're talking about a 380 or 777, one day grounded, it might be 5 to 600K, let's say. So the airlines doesn't have time to wait for some global forwarders, without saying any names, to send it and have it in 3 days, 4 days, being stuck at customs. So they're going to use the onboard courier services. So basically, as a person, 99% of them are freelancers. Flying around the world, having multiple passports, speaking multiple languages, and they will go to pick up a cargo very quickly. So I'll give you an example which is ongoing now. We have something in Antananarivo. I always have a hard time to pronounce that, in Madagascar, and the goods is in Miami, right? So they need the goods absolutely for yesterday, basically. So they will ask our services to have someone here in Miami, go to pick it up, make the exports, jump on the first available flight, which is via Dulles and then via Addis Abeba, and then Addis Abeba to Antananarivo, if I pronounce it well. So we're going to get there basically within 24 hours, and they can fix the plane and go back in the air very, very quickly. Versus if they are using a freight forwarder, even on air freight, it's going to take at least 3 days. And if it's not stuck in customs at arrival, so also one of the benefits using onboard courier services is the customs, because we can do the customs directly at the airports, at the right channel.
Is there any something that this person might need upon arrival to do this kind of service, or anyone can do it?
Well, you need to be very, very careful with who you're working with. You have to have a vetting process, obviously. As I said, they're all freelancers. So you need to make your due diligence, not sending anybody who never fly before, who will be really jet lagged and, forget his passport, whatever, or forget even the goods during a layover or something. So you need to use people who used to fly, who are professional, obviously, speak good English and other languages. It's very, very important to speak many languages in this business. And you do your vetting process as a company, So every company has different process. Our company, because I have 3 companies, so we'll get.
So for the audience, what are these companies, really quick?
So I started my journey with Expedite OBC, which is 100% dedicated on the onboard courier services.
OBC.
Yeah, 9 years ago, and then I come into TALA, and we'll come to it. How did I become the president of this organization? And recently I opened a network called SR7 Network, which stands for Silk Road to 7 continents.
Which will have its first event in February.
First event in February,
in Dubai.
6 to 9 in Dubai. So we have, let's start with the end, let's say. We have 3 specialties. ship spares, automotive, and events and exhibition. So TALA is specialized only on the aerospace logistics. So TALA stands for the Aerospace Logistics Alliance. And Expedite OBC, as I said, is really dedicated on the onboard courier. So how I come to TALA, and to explain you a bit. So as I said, I was doing OBC myself without knowing, and then I opened the company, I learn about it. I fly really, really a lot, as you know, pretty much every week, to be honest, like maybe 100, 120 takeoff every year.
Whoa.
So that's quite a lot.
So we're talking about more than twice a week.
Takeoff landing, yes, because if you fly, when I was living in London, it's very easy to have 4 takeoffs and landing because you're going to Asia, you have a connection usually in the Middle East. That's
Right.
one takeoff, second takeoff to your final destination back home. And I never go to Asia or to far away to do only one destination. So usually I'm going to go, let's say, to Singapore one day. The next day I'm going to be in Saigon. The day after I'm going to be in Hong Kong and then fly again. So one trip is easily 7 to 10 takeoff.
Crazy.
So it's going very, very quickly. And a lot of miles also. That's a good point of flying a lot, but it's very tiring. So back to TALA. So I joined TALA as a strategic partner. So TALA is an organization created by a very, very nice gentleman, which is kind of my mentor somehow. His name is Joel Glusman, based in France. So he had a group called Crystal Group. He had a company called Qualité NC in France. So they have offices in Morocco, and they also have one in Turkey. So his idea was to create a network. Okay, I don't really like the name network, and I will explain in details after. It's more an alliance than a network of independent freight forwarders in many, many countries who are specialized on the aerospace, because it's very, very specialized and very critical business. You have to have the know-how of moving aerospace.
I'll pause you real quick there because we had a conversation in Brazil a few months ago.
Yes.
What is the difference between a freight forwarder that handles aircraft parts as AOG and really knowing how to move, let's say, an engine, depending on obviously the specs of the engine? What is the difference between your regular AOG shipment and these kinds of multi-million-dollar shipments that needs, obviously, just like you mentioned, the know-how, contacts, and availability of space. So what's the difference there for the audience?
Expertise, when you move a multi-million, maybe 10, $20 million assets, obviously, the airlines will not give it to anybody, any freight forwarders who claim to do the aerospace, and do the AOGs is one thing. Moving an AOG and moving an engine is 2 different things, okay? You have to have the expertise. So, for example, in TALA, we have only freight forwarders who have an AOG desk, who are 24/7, who controls their customs, obviously. Airside access, it's not always available according to regulations in some countries, but airside access is a plus. And usually there's always an engine specialist around. In TALA, we have an engine specialist, actually. His name is Rob Drog, an amazing guy who basically eat, breathe, sleep engines. He knows absolutely everything about it. He's crazy about it, like really, literally crazy. And he's our engine specialist. So when there's an engine movement, we have obviously big companies, like in the USA, TALA USA is powered by PGL, for example. We're in Miami and their office is here in Miami. They move, 2 engines a day, maybe. That they have a lot of engines every day. So they have the expertise, they have a trained team for that. Obviously, there's a very, very strict SOP according to which engines you're moving. You're not moving a GA90 like you're moving a very small APU. An APU is still an engine, but it's a completely a different process as well to follow. There is regulations. Finding a space is not easy at all. So we need to be very well connected with the cargo airlines, So we have few deals. We are very close to Turkish Cargo, for example,
Nice.
that we're using quite a lot. So I'm not saying we bypass things, but we have a good connections with them. So we can move an engine, let's say, faster than others, I believe. And obviously the expertise is everything. People want experts to move this kind of multi-million-dollar assets. So back to the idea of creating TALA was to have actually these experts everywhere in the world. So Joel, the old owner, because I bought the company, but he's the founder, And he has done a great job trying to find these people everywhere in the world. And today we are 63, we're covering 80 countries. Numbers of office, to be honest, I'm lost. We might have over 200 offices now everywhere in the world. We do have obviously our conference every year, and we're trying to work as one team. Okay, we have a dual branding. So basically, TALA is when we're adding someone in TALA, as you know, because you've been also asking about TALA and a lot of people.
We've tried.
Yeah. I'm not saying I don't want you, obviously, but we have a very strict ongoing process.
And that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
We want to make sure that the onboarding is well done to have the professionals who can cover us in X or Y, Z country, right? So adding people just for the sake of adding people, it's not going to make the network and the alliance stronger, right? So that's very important. This process is very important to ensure that we have reliability, we have speed. The person in the country, the company in the country is a local hero, knows in and out of the customs, has a good relationship with the cargo airlines operating in the country, have the know-how of how to deal with such assets. And that makes actually the alliance very strong. That's
Now tell us a little bit about the new one, the SR7.
So
you guys are running TALA,
yes,
over 200 offices. Is that what you said? Over 200
more or less.
offices.
To be honest, I'm lost.
But then now, one thing that I want to tell you is that every month there's like 10 new networks around the world. It's crazy to me because right now like everybody can claim, hey, I want to do a network, and then my first event will be in Dubai next year. There's a bunch of that. We every day get tons of emails saying, hey, join our network. We have our next event, free for first time, wherever. But in this time that you see like a lot of new networks of people that claim to know how to run it, but truly they don't, you create a new one. Yes. What's the process behind, I'm going to do this and why I will do this?
Well, why comes from a personal experience. So I joined few networks as an OBC provider. So I'm not a freight forwarder. It's a big difference. I propose only one service, right, as Expedite OBC. So I start joining networks. We don't have to name them. And I expect, obviously, a return of investment, right? Definitely. I'm investing, I'm paying a membership fee, I'm flying around the world for the conference. As I always say, a network costs you, whatever it costs, like on the membership, it will cost you more or less $10,000 a year. Because you're paying 2, 3, 4K for the membership, and then you're flying
a couple of conferences.
You're paying conferences,
flights,
etc.
hotels.
Tell me about
food.
It. You name, right? So that's at least 10K. So if I spend 10K on a network, I'd like to have a return of my investment. So since I'm proposing only a very specific services, I want to be sitting in front of people who also need my services, right? So I find not all networks, obviously, and I can tell you the best one I think is, we can come to that later if you want.
Of course.
I find that the due diligence is not really there. So you're meeting people who, again, I'm not going to say names, but I sat in front of people who ask me to move dry shrimps from Thailand to UK just because I'm based in the UK. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm doing onboard courier. So there's no due diligence. There is also a lot of people who are not showing up. I don't find it very, very organized and professional. And some of the networks that I had joined before, and it was. Some are extremely well organized. They understand that, we have to meet the right people, and they are amazing networks, to be honest, and we can name few, The structure is well done. The owners are really thinking about, the value that they bring to people, and not only the value they bring to their pockets, unfortunately, right? So these networks are really good for that. But obviously, in 200, 250 networks, I believe, in the logistics, which is quite a lot. You get lost, right?
And there's new ones every
month. Maybe every week, right? Also, a lot of promises that we're going to be only 2 or 3 per countries, and then they see the demand and they're just adding more and more in the countries, and you ended up being 20 in your city, which doesn't make sense at all, right? And then specialties. So why SR7? Because this is the idea I had before actually taking over TALA. And Joel Glusman, we're always back to this guy, a very, very smart guy. He convinced me to take over TALA. And he told me something that I will never forget, and he was really right. He said, if you can succeed of running, TALA with all the issues we have and all the complexity of running such alliance, because it's very specific, then you can do everything else, right?
Yeah.
But I was going to open my network because I wanted a niche networks, like very niche. For example, time critical is niche, but I wanted to go further because time critical is niche and not niche at the same time. Because time critical is what?
It can be any product, yeah.
It
can be anything that you need it fast.
It can be a stem cells, it can be an AOG, it can be an automotive part, it can be a Rolex for a rich person, whatever. It can be anything, right? So I'm very focused on the aerospace since ever. Even on the OBC business, I think 90% of my business is AOGs. So we love AOGs. I don't know. This is something that I always love. Don't ask me why. So I wanted something very specific, and obviously TALA is extremely specific for the aerospace. Mm-hmm. But we have also ship spares business. We have automotive business, right? We have events and exhibition business. There is always something to bring on Atakanet, customs everywhere in the world. It's very, very complex, and we need a specific people doing these niches. So I wanted the experts on the ship spares, on the automotive, on the aerospace, and on the events and exhibition to get together and make it very, very exclusive. So 2 maximum per country. Okay, we don't want more. Of course, for the owner of any network, they will think money and business, which is normal. I'm not blaming that. But it's not my first source of income. So I can have, let's say, the liberty to have only 2 per country, bringing a lot of value. Once we bring the value, then we can see how we can make money, right? But the money is not the main goal from the beginning, because we need to have a strong network, and it works perfectly in TALA, actually. It works really, really well in TALA. That's why we have, I would say, 10 to 15 companies who wants to join every month, and pretty much 10 to 15 refusal, because it doesn't really match what we need. And I try to duplicate actually the same
that to SR7
with SR7 networks, and make sure that when you come and you join SR7 automotive, you're going to talk to people who also doing automotive like you, who understands the automotive, who do that on a daily basis, who have a dedicated team for that. These are the people you want to meet, and not someone who will ask you to move dry fish from Thailand to London, right? It doesn't make sense. So that was the idea.
SR7 is automotive, spare parts, and events.
Ship spares,
and events
and exhibition.
Yeah. So these are the 3 companies that you are currently running.
It's 3 niches that I'm trying to develop. We are okay on the automotive and ship spares. There is a lot of demands. Again, very picky. I think I'm too picky, let's be honest, because all the members who joined, they also need to have more members, but I just don't want to add members, right? So I explained to everybody from the beginning, this is a very new network. It's 1 year old now. It will take time. It will take 3 years to have a good base, but at least we have a very strict vetting process to make sure we have the right people. Also for the payment, you don't want to add someone who just see the light. Hi, hello, I want to join, and then you can have a lot of issues because there is maybe not enough financial background, not enough knowledge. They might mess up the shipments, and then it will affect the network.
Definitely.
So I do not want that. So Definitely. I prefer to take time to add people, to make sure we have the right people. We will do mistake like everybody. That's part of the process, right? Like every network in the world. But if we have time, and if I have this luxury to have time to add people, then let's do it. Let's take 2-3 years, but have something very strong, just like we have in TALA today.
Great. So we've talked about your OBC business, TALA as a network, and SR7 as a network.
Yes.
And the 3 things that keep repeating on these 3 companies is niching down into a product or a service. And you said that you're not afraid for it, but you have been you have been in the space. It's like if you are one of us, right? Now, how important it is to niche down into a service or a product versus not doing it and just trying to serve everybody and anybody that wants or that has cargo to be moved.
When you do everything, at the end of the day, you do nothing. That's what I believe. Let's be honest.
That's true.
So when you focus on something, then you become an expert. Humble enough to not say I'm an expert on the OBC, but let's say I am, right? Because I live, I breathe that. I know it in and out. Right? I'm doing that since years and years, flying a lot, and also I'm traveling a lot, meeting a lot of people, learning different regulations and everything. And I think for any freight forwarder today, niching down, I think is the key of a solid revenue, because you are becoming an expert on a very specific niche, and that's what makes the difference. That's the added value you bring. So tomorrow, if you have a ship spare business and you want to go into the ship spare business, you work hard to be an expert in it. You will be recognized as such. Simple as that. It's not gonna, it's not gonna happen overnight. Obviously, you need to work hard. You need maybe to be surrounded by the right people. You need to hunt the right people to join your team and make yourself known as an expert for the ship spares or for the aerospace or for whatever actually niche within this industry. If you're just like a basic general cargo freight forwarder, I mean, people like you or people like like these people, they are, I don't know, how many you have here in Miami? 30,000?
I was doing a research the other day, and there's like 90. It's like 50,000 here in the United States. 50,000 freight forwarders.
Miami is a lot. I'm not sure how many, but really, really a lot. I mean, you can drive miles and miles and miles, and it's still
actually in this building we're like 20.
This is insane.
In this whole block.
Yeah, it's massive. I'm always impressed about the US because everything is always big, and the competition is crazy. So now, if you're telling me who is the aerospace heroes here in Miami, I can give you a few names because they are well known for that and they're really focused on that. That's how they are being recognized by their clients, by also their suppliers, by everybody knows that they are the aerospace guy.
By destination agents.
Yeah, and they get more revenue, obviously, because they are really focused. Versus doing everything and anything, not sure you're gonna get you're gonna get a lot of business, yeah, but the revenue-wise will be really, really small, at the end of the day. So I prefer to move an engine, make X amount of money, than moving, 20 small general cargo, making $50 per shipment. It just doesn't make sense. It takes the same. It takes like 10 times less effort, right, to make 20 times more money. But because you're the expert, people will pay for that. Of course, you don't have to overcharge. There is still, there is still competition. But
you can still charge more than a regular general cargo.
You can, but I'm not cheap. Let's say, for example, on the OBC, because that's the only thing I really do as a company. Dealing with the network is a different story, but I'm not cheap. But I don't want to overcharge. Even though I have an expertise, I'm not the only one. We have to also be humble. Of course, I believe I'm an expert on that, but there's also other experts. There's also other very good competitors around who are doing great jobs as well, and we should just charge a fair price. Obviously a little bit more than if it was a normal service, but overcharging, I don't think so. It's good on the long run. And I don't find it personally not too honest to charge like a crazy massive amount of money, even though we are maybe 10, 15 very good experts on the OBC business. Of course there is OBC companies every week, and that's normal, that's the business, but if you have 10, 15 experts, then people will go, they still have 10 other options.
Right.
So what is your value? The value is on the service, is on the communication, is on anticipating absolutely everything. Anticipation is everything for me. Like I always say to my team, if a client sends an email asking for an update, you fail.
I'm just like that.
Simple as that.
Just like that.
I love to see no response of the clients. And at the end of the job, I see, great job, team, as usual. Thank you. Bye. That's it. That's a well done job. Sometimes, of course, you have some clients very stressed and they will ask for updates, and it's extremely rare. But if they work with you, they know that you're anticipating absolutely everything. So you're going to get the update before even you think about it. And that's communication is everything. And if something goes wrong, and everything goes wrong, it's every day you have at least one thing's going wrong. The most important thing is to communicate, to be transparent, to make sure that everybody understands the situation, and to make sure what's the next step, which is the most important. Because having an issue, the issue is clear for everybody. We have an issue. Okay, what we do next? So communication is everything. And if you have a good communication, a good service, of course you can charge a little bit more. The clients will be very happy to pay because they're in good hands. So if they pay 10% more or 15% more, but they know that you're handling it in a perfection, then you're going to get the business. Simple as that,
Tell us about yourself. What's your story? How do you get into OBC?
So It's quite a funny story. I used to fly a lot. I used to live in Hong Kong and mainland China from 2010 to 2015, mid 2015, and I was flying almost every 2 weeks back and forth to Europe. I was in the I was selling phone accessories and stuff like that in China. So, and I used to fly a lot, and I used to fly Emirates. We were talking about airlines earlier.
Yes.
I was flying always Emirates. Don't ask me why. I was good. And Emirates were always upgrading me because I was platinum member. I was very, very young at that time. So I went to the bar. You know, there's a bar at the end, business class.
Yeah.
And there is this old guy. He was 70 maybe. And he saw on my bag the platinum tag. And he told me, man, you're so young. How can you be platinum? So I explained to him that I'm going back and forth every 2 weeks, usually France, Germany, and back to China all the time. And that's how I accumulate that much miles and the status. And he said, but I'm an OBC and I'm not even platinum. And I'm like, an what? He said, an OBC. I said, what is an OBC? Sorry. My English was really, really bad, at that time. So he tried to explain me. And he said, an OBC, an onboard courier. So I'm delivering very urgent shipments everywhere in the world by taking them basically on board with me. And of course, I was not thinking about customs at that time. I was just fascinated by the story. And I was like, wow, this is great. Are you getting paid for that? I was quite stupid. I was like, he said, of course I'm getting paid. And it was 15 years ago, right? So I had that, we discussed maybe for half an hour at the bar and talking, and I forget the story for years and years. My business then in China had two businesses, and one was doing extremely well. And then in a span of a year, I lost everything.
Like the accessories one?
Yes. When I said everything is everything, like I was really bankrupt. I had pretty much nothing to live, was waiting for the next order to feed myself. It was a really, really hard time. And I was thinking to do something else, obviously. So I was digging, and when you're like really bad, the idea is not really bright, so you're having some stupid ideas, whatever. So, and then I sold the other company, so helped me to survive a little bit. I moved to Thailand after that for a year, and then I moved to Ukraine. My daughter was born in Ukraine. And when I was in Ukraine, I thought about this guy, about this story, and I was like, Obi something. And I spent days on the computer trying to find about the OBC. But we didn't have ChatGPT at the time. Google search was not as efficient as it is today. My English was really, really bad. It's not great now, but it's, at that time it was really, really bad.
It is very good. It is very good.
And I was like, okay, I need to find about that. So then I find it. Actually, I find a page of a competitor today. So I started digging and I was like, I need to do that. So that's how I come to the OBC business. And to be a good OBC, so a good freelancer, you need to, in my opinion, be close to a big airport. I didn't want it to back to France. I was born in France, but France is not for me for many reasons. So I said, you know what? I need to have a better English. I want a better life for my daughter. So let's move to the UK. And I had London in mind. So we moved to London. And after a few months, I started flying. And I had at that time 2 passports.
Oh, wow. When year was this?
It was 2017, early 2017.
Okay.
And 2016, early 2017. So we moved March 2017, actually. My daughter was born January 2017. So I started flying for some competitors. So I have a Moroccan passport because my both parents are Moroccan, and I had a French because I was born in France. So the 2 passports, and I always had a lot of visas because I was flying a lot, for my business before. So I was quite a good OBC for everyone because speaking a few languages and having 2 passports was good for them. And obviously I was next to Heathrow. So that's how I come to the OBC business. And after a few months flying, quite a lot actually, I decided to go and said, okay, you know what? I'm going to open my own company, do it myself.
And how do you get into this company that you were flying for? You just looked them up on internet?
Very complicated, and it's still actually the same today. By the way, I don't recommend anybody to send us an email at Expedite OBC because I think we have quite a good pool of courier today. And adding people for the sake of adding people,
it doesn't make sense.
I don't find it very nice because you give hope to people that they're going to have a job, they are registered with you, and all we do is we keep the data and we have like 2,000 or 3,000, 4,000 people. It doesn't make sense. I don't want, I prefer to have like a 1,000. I think we have even a little bit less now. We narrowed down a bit to 800, 900 people with a vetting process, obviously. And I think that's enough, Of course, sometimes we might not have the right person, the right place, But adding people who are just a student who never fly before, who does not understand what they're doing, we are going to give them like a very important shipments. So you need to have a good vetting process with these people. It's a serious business. And I understand the student who wants to fly and have a fun and be paid, but this is no fun. This is business. This is very serious. So we need to have serious people doing it. So I started registering by sending emails at the time. We had no platforms. They had no apps that they have today or things like that. You know, it was really like random sending emails, waiting, for instance, sometimes for weeks. And then when you start picking up, then if you do your job well, obviously they just want you all the time, right? So you're quite busy. And then we started having some WhatsApp group with other couriers talking to each other. But at that time, the WhatsApp groups were like 80 people, 60 people, whatever. Yeah. So it was really, really, really like a small group of people. And we just started from there, you know. And then I just decided to open my company, taking a big risk, financial risk, with a 6-month-old baby, you know. But just believed in it, you know, and I just loved it, actually. I speak a few languages, so it was really, really helpful. I was always asked for jobs to China. I speak Mandarin. Not as good as before, let's be honest. Forget maybe.
So how many years do you live in Hong Kong?
I lived a year and a half in Hong Kong, and then I moved to mainland China in Shenzhen, which is basically the next.
Yeah,
next
like
one.
an hour.
You just take the metro basically to go to mainland China.
Yeah, yeah.
So there is a station called Lohu, and the other side of the border is also Lohu. So it's pronouncing is slightly different, but you just go by metro basically. So I moved to Shenzhen, where I spent almost 5 years as well. It was great time. It was really great time. I learned a lot. I was very young, so it was really good. And then I moved to Thailand to take a rest because I was bankrupt. So I needed a place, a cheap place to live. So it was not for fun. It was just because I was broke, like really broke at the time. Then I just decided to move there and try to save the money I didn't have. And I was living on, I don't know, $500 a month, $600 a month maybe. You can eat for $2 and you can eat good actually.
Right.
Not anymore.
Well, yeah, it's
not anymore.
It's more expensive right
now. Back in 2015 for 50 baht, you had a full meal with a drink.
Yeah, but definitely cheaper than big cities.
Definitely cheaper than Shenzhen. It was getting very expensive. Hong Kong, forget about it. I decided to go there. It was next door, 3 hours flight, whatever. And then Ukraine was obviously, also cheap, but I didn't want it to live. I love the country, love the people, but it was not for me, and it's freaking cold.
Right.
The winter time is no joke. Oof. It's really no joke.
So how many years did you spend in London?
I spent 8 years.
8 without, that was a lot. It's a lot of time.
Years. Yeah. I spent 8 years.
And what make you say, hey, let's move somewhere warmer?
Let's be honest. The new government is really putting
I heard that.
Stupid taxes and stupid rules in place. I hope they're going to change.
Everybody's leaving UK. I know a lot of people on LinkedIn. A lot of
people are leaving.
A lot of people from LinkedIn that I know, they're just moving to like South America, even here in North America and some other parts of the world. But yeah.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's breaking my heart because I truly love London. I think it's the best city in the world. People might think like I'm too much, but I just love it. When I talked to my British friend and I said, I love UK, I love London, I love the British people. They are really the nicest people in Europe for me,
London is cool.
It's just, there is no two London. London is just London. It's amazing place. I wouldn't think even once that I'm gonna leave, the UK because I feel British. I'm British, by the way, now, but I really feel British. And I know it's gonna shock some of my French friends, but I feel more British than French. And I was born in France, was raised in France until 20 years old, right? But I feel more British. I don't know, I'm more aligned with the British value, with the people, they're super nice, they're super welcoming. There is a big chance that you can succeed if you're serious in the UK. So I see a lot of people bashing the UK because of what is happening and everything, but I think it's a great country and it has always been a great country. Okay, it's not the right time now. When you're an entrepreneur, you have to make hard decisions sometimes. And I had to take mine,
It was pretty hard.
It was very hard.
Pretty hard for you to...
Yeah, and it's still hard, to be honest. I did not yet swallow it, let's say.
So how long ago was that? How long ago?
It's been 3 months now. I moved
So when we met in Brazil, you were still in London.
I was still in London.
But you were already planning on the moving. or not yet?
We moved very, very quickly with my family. We took a decision in a few months, right? When you're an entrepreneur, it's not possible anymore, you know. And it's very sad because if you're living as an entrepreneur, and I'm a very, 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 very small entrepreneur compared to many people who have millions and millions who left, we're creating jobs, we're creating value to the country. And so if we are always having these loads on taxes and loads on the bureaucracy is okay, to be honest, compared to France. I mean, like, no comparison, but it's just counterproductive for the country. That's my opinion. I'm not a politician, but I think it's just counterproductive. And when you see the amount of people who have left the UK today, well, there is something wrong. It's obvious, right? It's not because you love a country that you have to stay there forever.
Of course.
I always get the same thing. People are like, oh, but if you love that much the UK, why have you left? Well, I love my mom like crazy, like nobody on earth, but I don't live with her, right? So it's the same with the UK. I love the UK, but at some point I have to take decision for my future, for my family. And to be honest, I would love to go back.
Oh, wow.
But not now.
It's been 3 months. So how's Dubai? As
freaking hot.
As a country that you now live in, because I'm pretty sure you've been in Dubai multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
But what's the difference between, going on vacation or for work for maybe a few days or a couple of weeks than like actually living there?
The UAE is a very special country. I think their leaders are amazing. They are very, very smart. They are running the country in a way that their the people are their customers. They are their clients. They have to serve them as a client. That's what I believe. So the service is, second to none. The service is just amazing. And the government is treating the people really as a valuable people. They obviously, the taxes are really, really appealing. Obviously, you're not gonna lie, you pay 0% on your salary, right? But you pay 9% corporation tax.
So is a new company based in Dubai?
I had a new company based in Dubai. Others are still in the UK. Of course, we will have to transition to the UAE, that's for sure. But the way they trade people there is just amazing.
Do you think it has to do with the culture?
Yes, definitely.
100%.
Definitely. It's the Arab people, and I'm talking about Arab people, not only Muslim people, because people have this, in the Middle East, everybody is Muslims. No, not at all. Okay, Arabs, we have Christians, we have Jewish, we have a lot of different religions. But the culture of Arab people is always to care to the neighbor, for example. In our culture, the neighbor is very important. We have to take care of the neighbor. There's many sayings, but if you know that your neighbor is going in bed stomach empty and you're full, you're not a good neighbor. You're not a good person. So we have a lot of things like that in Arabic, and I think that's the culture. That's family oriented as well. We take care of the kids. We never send our parents to a care home. It's just not even possible to think about it. We live with them until their last breath. That's our culture. And obviously I'm Moroccan, so we have extremely similar culture. I think it plays a big role on how they rule the country as well. Their mentality and where they want to bring the country next. It's already a very, very high level, let's be honest, right?
It's been for the best, if you think about it.
Yeah, but they always have a room for improvement. And that's how they think. And I love the way they are running it, because they're always looking to improve, which is already very good. So obviously, it's a great place to live. It's freaking hot in summertime. That's the downside. When I said freaking hot, it's really, really hot.
How hot? What's the highest temperature that...
It's the feeling, actually, because temperature doesn't mean really anything. Sometimes it's 20 degrees, it feels 10 degrees. Sometimes it's 45, it feels 60. You don't even want to go out. So this summer was really hot, let's be honest. But now, since beginning of October, it's just perfect place. Except the weather, which nobody can do anything about. I think it's a really, really, really great place to live. As a business owner, as the logistics as well. We are on the logistic field. I think it's the place to be. And you can see all the big companies now opening offices in the UAE, in Dubai particularly, but in the UAE as well. Dubai South is growing like crazy. It's going to be the next big thing. It is happening. It's not something that we're talking in 10 years. We're talking about 18 months, 2 years, So the investment is there. It's growing very, very, very rapidly. And if you're there at the right time, you're growing with them. So I think it's a great place, yeah.
That's nice. So over the last 20 years, you've lived in like 6 places, 6, 7. So Hong Kong, Shenzhen.
No, I started with Canada, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Canada, Hong Kong, Shenzhen, Thailand, Ukraine, London,
UK, and
Dubai.
yes.
Are these 6 cities or countries? Which one has been your favorite? London?
London, no hesitation. No hesitation.
But because of the people, the weather, the city, combination of
People
everything.
complain about the weather. People complain about everything. There's always something. You know, like I just complain about the weather in Dubai, right? It's summer, it's hot, and so what?
Right.
Okay, it's extremely hot. Yes, yes. In London, it's raining a lot. It's not raining more than Paris. You know, I was born in Paris. I grew up in Paris. Still the same weather. Up north, maybe in Scotland, it might be another story. You know, I think it's quite, yeah, it's cold and it's raining a lot and everything. But okay, it's raining. Yeah, okay. Winter time at 4 p.m. it's dark. Yeah, okay. And so what?
So you travel a lot
Yeah,
to, I'm sure, a lot of countries. Which one has been your favorite? Maybe not to live, but a country that you say, oh, like that was cool.
Shocking everyone when I say that because I love diving. And Philippines for me is the best.
Philippines?
Philippines for me is the best country in the world for me. I visited, I mean, people are saying Thailand. Thailand is beautiful, don't get me wrong. It's amazing. The food is better than the Philippines, okay? But the islands, you have 7,107 islands in the Philippines. Fact check this information.
Oh,
I'm
wow,
not
come again?
really
Wait,
sure.
how many?
7,107. If I'm not wrong. You fact checked, right? So trust me, you always find a good place. Yeah, I dived with whale shark. I've done crazy things in this country. It's just amazing, you know. And I used to actually fly there with a small Cessna. I tried at that time, a long time ago. And I just love it. You know, for me, it's the best country to relax.
That's great. All right, so now this transition into your experience in TALA. So you've been doing OBC still doing OBC.
9 years.
Yeah, 9 years.
Still.
Now, how do you get into conversations with TALA, with past owner or the past?
It's again life experience, travels. I was in Russia, so I speak fluently Russian. And I met this guy again, Joel Glusman, at the Emir of Russia at that time, before the war. And I heard his crazy French accent, you know, he was talking exactly like that. So I said hello to him, you know, and we started talking. And he said, oh, you know what, I'm running this organization. And what do you do? I said, oh, I do OBC. He said, oh, that's perfect. I need a strategic partner for the OBC because we are using OBC a lot. And I was like, perfect, man. Okay, let's have a deal. So that's how it started. I made the story short, you know. So
And what year was that?
it was 2018.
Okay.
It was 2018. I think it was February 2018.
So you've been running your OBC company for a year now, year and a half now.
Yes, year and a half. And I met him. So then we signed an exclusive contract. So I was and I'm still actually, the exclusive strategic partner for the OBC, for TALA. Okay. And obviously, I will not kick out myself now since I become president because I was there before, right?
So what were your responsibilities at that time?
I was basically just a strategic partner. So I was paying a fee. I was very close to, and I'm still close to Joel. As I said, he's kind of a mentor for me. And I was proposing my service to the network, basically, you know, getting good business from the people. Of course, we get in touch. I'm traveling a lot, as you know. So meeting most of them in their country. And it's still a very, very good business for us, you know, at Expedite. And it's also what I love. It's AOG. You know? So we just love AOGs.
And how do you go from partner to president? What happened? That's a big jump.
It's a very long story. Joel Glusman wanted to sell his group. You know, he gets
the whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing. And
so he wanted to sell the whole thing.
So he sold most of it to a company called Demotrans in France, and TALA was not part of the deal. So he wanted someone to run TALA. He tried different things with some other freight forwarders and etc. And then he find me, obviously, and he proposed me to take over. So I told him, with all due respect, I'm not interested. You know, I'm very busy with my business. I don't want to. But he said, but you have good ideas and you're young and you're not a freight forwarder, so there's no conflict of interest. And I think you're the best person to run it. So I said, thank you very much. But again, no. Second time. Then the third time he came back and he was in Amsterdam, Emir Amsterdam. I always had a small Expedite OBC booth at the Emirs. So he came back and he convinced me to make an offer. But at that time, I wanted to open SR7, you know.
Oh wow! So you wanted to open SR7
Oh, yes.
back? So it's wow!
Yes.
It's been in the making for a while now.
So I wanted to do that, but I wanted also the specialty on the AOG, which will be a conflict of interest with TALA. And of course, I'm not going to do that to my friend. So I said, okay, I can forget about this. But he said, if you take TALA and you're successful, and you can do everything else after that. And he was right, because it's not an easy task. Really, really not an easy task to take over such an organization. I'm the youngest, and it's a very, very important point. I'm 39. Everybody is older than me.
I wanted to ask you something about that, about the
Yeah.
age, because that's something that, me, I'm 32, and maybe not in your position, but in similar situations where age plays a huge role, because this the space, it's been run by people of like 50 plus years
Yeah.
old, 60 plus years
Yes.
old. How do you see that as an advantage or maybe disadvantage? Because, this is my point of view, and then you tell me if I'm wrong, because maybe you have access to maybe people that has been doing this for maybe longer.
Yeah.
But I think that one of the disadvantages is that maybe they don't want to try new things. And I'm talking especially technology-wise.
I know where you're getting.
But not only technology, but how to run companies in like 2025, 2026 is not the same as how you used to run companies in maybe the 90s, the 2000s, and
Definitely.
even the 2010s. It's not the same thing, because people are not the same. It's a new generation. You can treat them the same. And I'm not saying that you should treat them wrong or that should like give them special treatment. No, but it's not the same. And an advantage, obviously, will be the experience, right? The experience that they've been
Yes.
doing this for decades,
Yes.
maybe. But what's your point of view about that?
I think, well, first of all, it's culture-wise. For me, it's extremely important to listen and respect anybody older than me. Of course, we respect the youngest as well. But if someone is one day older than me, I owe him all the respect in the world. A small thing is that, for example, if I'm going in a car with my brother, it's automatic that my older brother is going in the front. There is no discussion here. It's just the culture, right? So why I'm telling you that, because when someone is older than you, you always have a lot to learn from them. And I think we young people in this industry sometimes are making mistake thinking that, oh, these guys are too old, they are outdated, they are, they think differently and everything. I think we're very wrong, because we have so much to learn from them, so much. Okay, we're not maybe aligned on the new technology, on the AI and everything, that's fine. And to be honest, I'm young, but I'm really not good at that, so I'm not the best person to talk about the AI and everything. But they have the wisdom we don't. So we need to listen to these people to understand where they come from, what's their background, how they get into that, because we're talking about people who have built empires, So we should not look at them like, oh, they're old school people, they don't know what they're doing, or they don't know anymore what they're doing, because that's what usually young people think, that, oh, they're outdated and everything. But they are there because of their hard work. And everybody has its time, right? In their time, it was this way. In this time, it was this way. Now take their seats. You're 60, 70, you have a very successful business. You're close to retirement if you want to retire, okay? It's the end of your life, let's be honest, right? Okay, if you're very lucky, you're gonna live until 90. They are tired also. They want to lay back and relax, Business is working well. Of course, there's always room for improvement, but these people are hiring, young people who are trying to explain them how we can do things today, but they are still the one deciding because of the wisdom. They might say, no, you might be against that, but there is always a good wisdom behind that. So I always truly believe that listening the old generation is the key to success, and it will shape us in a certain way. Of course, with all our added value as a young people, as a young generation, and a fresh mind, as we say. Okay, but they have a lot. So when I took over TALA, I'm the sole owner of TALA, so I have 100% of the shares. But I did create a board, actually. So we have a non-executive board. I could decide not to do it and take all the decision myself, and that's it. And again, it's non-executive, which means the decision is mine, right? At the end of the day, the decision is mine. But I'm humble enough to think that I'm going to learn a lot from the board, which are all older than me, and sometimes much older than me, So every time I have a decision to take, I'm gonna always talk to the board first, take their opinion, and then it's gonna shape my decision, And not all the time, but sometimes I'm changing, my way, or changing the decision, or changing where I want to go, because their input is extremely valuable to me. So that's what I think. We should be more listeners and not judges of the old generation.
So there has been any new ideas that or decisions that you had to take when you were 100%, that for the fact that that it was a good idea, and then they weren't on board with it, but you still did it?
Yes, it happens. It happens.
Were you right or were you wrong?
I was this time, but I'm humble enough to think if I wasn't, it will maybe put me in a situation where I would listen even twice more after that, right? This time I was. Okay, so it was good. Sometimes, you feel, you have your guts, cannot explain that. You're like, whatever people say, I'm going to do it because this is the way. But again, they are very, very knowledgeable. So I have to learn from them. And then the decision is just, you have to take some decisions, sometimes some hard ones, some easy ones. But at the end of the day, you are the leader. So you need to take the decisions no matter what. And satisfying everybody is just impossible. I thought it was possible when I was 20. I grew up,
It's still the same.
It's not happening. You can satisfy 95% of the people. You will always have someone not satisfy, dislike you for whatever reason. I mean, you cannot satisfy everybody. So try your best to satisfy the most. And if someone is not, well, it's not the end of the world,
Is there anything that you never forget that you mentored, taught you or told you?
Well, one of the things is patience, is respect again to the elders, not only, but patience is one of the biggest lesson I've got from few people. Again, from Joel, to be patient, to be focused. I think it's very important to take time, because this world is going too fast. And if you want to build something sustainable for years to come, you have to be patient. And we young people are not patient at all, so we need to learn that. And I think that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned is to be patient.
Okay, great. Now, let's talk about work ethic within TALA especially.
Yes.
Because we've had some situations that I've seen, that I was involved in, wanting to join TALA, and also a brother of yours, a good friend of yours, also a friend of mine, that has a big company in India. What is your work ethic when you have friends or people that you appreciate that wants to join your network? It can be TALA or it can be SR7, but they're not 100% qualified to be a member. And why?
Yes. Well, I'm very straightforward person. I have a big mouth. I talk a lot, as you can see. So I love to say things straight. And when you're really a good friend and a brother to someone, when things are not the right way, you should say it. And that's pure love to me. If I love you and I see you doing wrong, in my opinion, I might be wrong as well, I should tell you, bro, you're doing wrong. I think you're not qualified. I think you're not ready. I think this is great. This is friendship. This is brotherhood. So I had many, many people that I'm very close to. I think you mentioned about Salim now, I'm sure. Salim wanted to join, but I have contracts already with 2 companies in India. We accept 2 maximum per country.
So it's not that he's not qualified.
2.
Is that
both.
The seats are, okay,
Both.
Combination of both.
He is extremely qualified for a lot of things, but not yet on the aerospace. Not saying he would not be. And
but he does a lot of OBC, not aerospace, but OBC he does a lot because he always posting it on LinkedIn.
Yeah, OBC, it's related to me, but it's another story. But I'm not getting any shares, don't get me wrong. But I started actually talking to him about OBC, brought him to the business. I had his son over in the UK working in my office for some time. So I trained his son. His son is an absolute super gentleman. I love this guy, Farhan. So we basically teach quite a lot on the OBC, and now they are on their own, and I'm very, very happy for them because they're very successful on the OBC business, and not only from to India, because they started from to India, but now it's pretty much everywhere in the world. A lot of people say you're creating competitors. I am creating maybe competitors, but he's a good brother. He's a good gentleman. He's very honest. There is a business for absolutely everyone. At that time, he needed help. I was there. And when I need help, he's always here for me. Always, always, always. He's one of the few that, whatever he asks me, now if he's calling me right now and telling me I need you in whatever, Bangalore, give me 20 hours, I'll be there. That's as simple as that. I'm going to cancel everything for him. So there is some people like that that are very valuable for your life and also on the business, but for your life, counting on people like that is extremely important. Having people like that around you, I think, is key. We, at the end of the day, we're just human beings. We need interactions. We need trust. Sometimes we give trust. People are using it, the wrong way. Sometimes you get stabbed in the back. That's the life, But people like that are very important. And back to your question, I'm not adding him or others. I know you wanted to join as well. I had some people in Dubai who wanted to join. I'm talking about Jalal, a great company. He waited for 3 years to join. Not because he was not qualified. He was qualified, but we had someone. And then for XYZ reason, I stopped the contract with when we had, and then he came on board. The same for the guys in Sharjah. Great guys. We're talking about IMEX Global Logistics. Amazing guys. Their story is amazing. You should have them actually on the podcast because they started.
Is he here?
No, he's in Dubai.
In Dubai. Okay.
You should really, really hear his story. That's really, really
amazing
story.
Put him on the list.
So they were also waiting for so long, but that's the way I do business. I want to make sure that if I have someone on board, you can't take their seats. They're here, they have a contract. I have to respect the contract. I have to help them. I have to protect their interest. You can be my brother, my real brother, sharing same mom and dad. I'm not gonna add you because I have commitment with others. So I know a lot of people doesn't like that because they're chasing me for quite a long time to join. But we are not a big network. We are not adding people just for the sake of adding people. We want to make sure that we have the same work ethic. We have the same capabilities. So, the level of service matches everywhere in the world. And it's not an easy task. Definitely not an easy task. So that's why I'm refusing even a very, very close friend. And who knows, just like Jalal, maybe in 3 years, a spot will be available in some country and I'll get back to you, get back to Salim, get back to whoever is qualified for that because we have a strict process, as you know. And why not? But everything has its time.
It's good. It's good. Now, stuck leadership as my last point. How hard is it to lead people? You let them on your OBC at the beginning, on your OBC company, you're still leading them.
Yep.
Then in TALA as president, and then on this new network SR7. How important is to be a good leader rather than just a boss?
I don't like both words, leaders and boss. For me, there's only one boss and he's up there. That's it. There's no boss in the world. That's my opinion. Leading depends what we call leading. I'm a very bad manager, for example. I'm super bad at that because I'm so passionate that any small mistakes I will not handle it the right way. I'm more a pedagogue now. Take times and everything. But when I started, the pressure was really, 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 really hard. So I was not a good leader or a good manager. And when you know something in and out, teaching it to people who sometimes does not understand on the first or second go, it might be frustrating. So definitely I'm not the good one. So that's why today I have managers, I have people who really take over and run the business very, very well. Expedite obviously is taking basically 2 hours of my time every week now.
Nice.
But I am 100% on it and I'm reading absolutely everything. Every jobs, we have a lot of jobs every day and I'm reading absolutely everything. So if I see a small thing, I would not jump on the people like I used to do. I will let it to the manager, and I won't have some levels which I did because the micromanagement is horrible. And I was basically micromanaging. So I think
we all go through that phase of doing it without realizing we're doing it and then maybe losing some good people or maybe not having a happy team.
I haven't lost good people. I have lost the bad ones, so it's fine.
We all want to lose the bad ones.
But micromanaging, when you realize you're doing it, then you're far from being a good leader. And that's the beginning of the company, obviously, and then you grow, and then you understand how you have to manage better people, how you can bring value to their life as well, because at the end of the day, it's a people business. They are doing the job. Okay, I was doing it for years and years, but without them, there is nothing. There's nothing. And as I said, in the OBC business, without OBC, there is no OBC broker. Without OBC broker, there is no OBC. So both are extremely important. And obviously the client, but the OBC broker and the OBCs, the freelancers, are one part. One without the other, it's nobody, it's nothing, right? So have to be fair, have to fear to be the injustice, to do something bad to someone, because it's gonna, I believe it's maybe a religious belief, but whatever you do, it comes back to you.
Oh, it definitely happens. Just
So
like that.
do your best. We are human beings, all gonna make mistake, but do your very best every single morning when you wake up and try to be the best. And usually people recognize that. And again, you're not gonna please everyone. Some people will love you, some people will hate you, and sometimes for no reasons.
And that's okay.
And that's completely fine. I mean, like, that's the life. You can't please everybody. It's but leadership is it's a big word for me. I don't consider myself as a leader. I'm humble enough to think that, for example, in TALA, we have, again, wise guys older than me, and I believe they are true leaders, and they're better leaders than me, in that. Okay, I'm leading TALA. I think I'm doing a good job according to the feedback. I'm not throwing flowers on myself. According to the numbers of people who wants to join, according to the visibility we have, according to a lot of things, I think we are doing a great job. I have a fantastic team in Chennai helping me a lot. They're always behind the scene. Aruna and Nishant, if you hear me, thank you, and others. Always saying about the two, but there's other people as well. We have a nice designer. We have another nice guy who's helping a lot. We have people behind the scene. It's not a one-man show. So thanks to these people, actually, helping me, to try to provide as much value to our licensee as possible. That's very important.
I think the best leaders, even if you don't consider yourself one, but I think the best leaders think that they always have to have things to learn from other people. And I think those leaders, managers, presidents, founders, however you want to call them, are the best ones for the job. So I think, the results always talk louder than whatever you say about yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever you think you're doing right or wrong. I mean, results always are the ones that speak for yourself. It's very important to, know where we come from, know where we are, but also know where we want to be. So what is your vision for, the OBC business, TALA, and Usher 7? And maybe you don't know for sure, but if you can share with the audience, with the people who are watching us right now, how do you think the companies, all three companies, will be 5, 10, 20 years from now? What do you want them to be or to become?
Well, there is two aspects in that. The first one is that I think the business, whether it's OBC or the networking business, both actually have some similarities. Today, on the OBC business and also on the networking business, is an overcrowded market. On the OBC business, every single week you have a new company. Hey, hello, I do OBCs. Networking is the same thing. Every week you receive many emails like you do, like I do. I don't know how these people get into your inbox. You block them, but they still get to your inbox somehow. That's a lot, but the market will regulate itself. It's normal. I think it's very, very normal, because after the COVID, the business really went really crazy. So that creates a lot of opportunities for a lot of people, and we can't blame people for trying to get, into some business and get also their shares. That's just the business, right? Before the COVID was more regulated, the COVID was a very good time. It's very strange to say that. A very good time for the business.
It was a great time. I actually talked about it on my last podcast. It was the best time for freight forwarders.
Best time ever.
The best time.
On the OBC, just couldn't believe myself. The amount of jobs we're making, the amount of money we're making was insane. But that's normal. I mean, normal. Whatever it can be normal today, but that's normal,
people were
right?
just scared about not being able to get their product. Yes. So they overstaffed.
That's it.
And then somehow, some way, it regulated like 2022 and early 2023.
And now we come back to, I think the market now is regulating itself on the staffing. That's another thing. The business as well, the pricing. Of course, there's always some issues, especially on the sea freight, but I'm not an expert on sea freight. But regulations are always coming. The market is the business anyway. It's always like that, right? So OBC business, yes, overcrowded. Maybe 10, 15 good companies in the business who have their own clients and who are really, really, really professional in that. I think they will survive. That's for sure. Others, they might not. Some of them might, because the market is now very, very competitive. You need a lot of cash flow. We're talking about really, really, really big money all the time. Every day you can spend,
thousands.
Tens of thousands every day. Tens of thousands, we're talking, every single day. So, of course, the cash flow is very important. Someone might not survive that as the business grow. It depends. But I always let the market decide, because we can speculate all day long. The market always regulates everything.
Correct.
And as I said, there is 10, 15 companies who are here since a very long time. They know what they're doing. They are very professional. The market is there for everybody. And the ones who doesn't belong there anyway will be kicked out by the market itself, not by the people, not by the things, not by anything we can bid on. It's just the market will regulate things. On the freight forwarding, we saw the last few years the bigger guys eating the smaller, and it's also normal. It's kind of a regulation as well. So you see, the big deals with DSV, DB Schenker, Siva taking Bolloré, etc., etc. The list goes on, right? And that's also normal. It comes to a time where these companies make billions and billions and billions of dollars during the COVID. I mean, that's the best time to swallow your competitor. So you can't blame them as well. It's not happening in the OBC, not that much, maybe 2 or 3 companies here and there. But that's, again, it's a completely normal thing, right? The future is bright, I believe. Logistics is everything. Without logistics, there is nothing. We always have to move things. We will always have to move things. But I believe, as I said earlier, I think the specialty is the key to really be sustainable and stay here for the long run. Because, trying to get all the business at the same time, it's not really productive. You're everywhere. Your staff is not focusing. That's very important, to be focused and to have this luxury to choose your client at some point. And that's very good. When you start refusing some clients, then I think it's a good sign that you're doing well and that you know where you can bring value to people and where also you can bring value to your company. Because we always tend to think about bringing value to the clients. Of course, that's our job, but we also have to bring value to our staff, our company, and how we can grow in a healthy way, and that's very important. But for me, the future is bright. Now on the networking business, I'm more skeptical, let's say, because it's just too many, people they join, they stay a year or two, they leave. Some are great, some are not. For me, the greatest is WCA. There is no, we don't have the same business model at all. I'm not more on the niche, 2 per countries, and that's it. But for me, I mean, that's the best of the best.
What are the things that you measure networks by to say it's good or not?
Well, the professionalism of the people who are running it, that's very important. The honesty, the service that they bring to their members, the financial protection, which is fantastic, and a real one. I'm not gonna name others, but WC is a real one, and you're laughing because you know what I'm talking about.
To make it clear for the people listening to us or watching us, sometimes you find networks that they promise you they have a financial protection, but then God forbid something happens, turns out they don't.
Yes.
So you don't get your money back.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate because you're paying extra money every year because you think that they're saving that money, but they, for lack of better words,
some do.
Some do, but some don't. So they're just taking the money and not really using it for what they're saying it is. So that's what we mean when we say
this is why,
quote unquote financial protection.
This is why I'm telling you WC is the best, clearly, by far, and it's the biggest, and not for no reason, right? It's an example. Again, we don't have the same business model at all.
Do you have any you would have to name it here, but do you have any direct competitor for TALA that's as big as you guys?
We I don't really take them as a competitor, with all due respect to them.
There's one that it's called AOG network. Is that like
AOG Freight maybe or something
AOG
like that?
Freight?
Yeah. I think, yeah.
Is that are those guys like in the same space or?
I don't know them. I can't really say anything, to be honest. I don't know. I know that Joel Glusman obviously opened 2 networks before that. It's a long story, and I think he's the best to talk about that. But he had ALN and ALG as well. But I don't see anybody as competitors. I think we're quite unique. And we can feel it on the demand we have, on the feedbacks we have and everything. So I don't really see like a competitors. And the way we're structured is not as a network. It's an alliance. We have some rules. We can talk about it. We have like the first refusal, for example. So when you join TALA, let's say you're TALA USA. Today, here in the US, we're in Miami. So TALA USA PGL, if they have any jobs to, let's say, France or to UK, they must send the quotations to the UK guys. And then, of course, they can send quotations to an outsider, but they must give the first refusal to the British guys because we are part of the same alliance, and vice versa as well, right? So when you join, anything going to your country, from to your country, you can be 100% sure that you're going to get the quotation, right? But you have to enforce that, and that's the tricky part.
It is, but at the same time, it's
Right.
like a cycle because you make sure that they get the ROI on the investment at the same time because you're enforcing them.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the ROI on TALA, especially on TALA.
Of course, but
Because I know they get back their money.
By not worrying about it too much, you're doing it as
Yes.
but as a byproduct of the regulations of the network.
I'm not even doing it for them to how to say, to like make crazy money, or it's not about the financial aspect who drives me to do that. Is to make sure that the business stays within TALA, because I don't like to use the word family, but kind of a family. We want the business to stay within TALA. And of course, as I always say, if someone is not good enough, expensive, not good service, it's not going to happen because I'm not going to let it happen. And I'm going to be very, following up and make sure that the service is good, because we need to be, on the same level. So it's never going to happen. If it's happening, I'm on their back all the time. But we need to make sure that they are getting the business from the network and keeping it from the network.
One thing that I want to mention, I know you have to run to the airport because he has to take another plane. But we were talking in Brazil a few months ago, and you said that you do something that it was funny to me, but at the same time, is how you keep the quality of the network or of the freight forwarders at the highest level. And it's that you send random emails at the middle of the night. Tell us about that.
I do. I'm psycho. I do. So what I do, because we must be 24/7, and that's also the old school way you were talking before. For some people, 24/7 means a number to call. For me, 24/7 is not a number to call.
It's someone actually
It's
awake.
someone who's not
replying.
awake, fully awake, working. Awake means like, he's on Netflix and waiting for. No. I don't want that. I have a small company, over 20 people. If we are 24/7 with my tiny little bit company, trust me, the guys can be 24/7. They are massive companies compared to mine, right?
So you send emails at the middle of the night.
So what I do, not only emails but also call.
Random nights
I
that you
send
can't sleep.
random emails at 3 a.m. because it's always 3 a.m. for someone in the world,
Right.
So I send an email, urgent quote, whatever. Sometimes it's like a real fake request, and sometimes it clearly says what it is. Test email, please answer. That's it. And if I don't get an answer within whatever minutes, according to what I put, if it's an AOG, if it's a routine, whatever, then the next day, 9 a.m., I get a response like, we are working on it or whatever. Man, it's too late. We're supposed to be 24/7. So I am ruthless in that, because where is our added value then if we do like everybody else? Put a number of someone who is sleeping, taking the phone at 4 or 5 a.m. when you send the email at 3. Oh, okay, I'm going to check. Or replying at 9 a.m. with one coffee in hand and the other one on the keyboard. I mean, we don't want that. We want to be the best. So to be the best, we have to put the effort, and we have to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So I'm taking the phone at 3 a.m. I'm traveling a lot, so I'm always on a different time zone. Now I don't know what time is in Dubai. It's maybe 2 a.m.
Might be
I can just call them right now, and I can guarantee they will answer, because I know they're very, very good. Or I can send an email within 10 minutes. I have an answer. That's the people I want.
That's fascinating.
That's the people I want.
It's good. And to people that are watching you, I'm pretty sure there'll be many people that know you that will be watching this. It's the reinforcement on the quality of the service that TALA as an alliance provides. So that's good. Now let's talk about SR7. You guys will have its first event in February.
Yes.
Right. So even though you haven't had your first official event, what's the future for SR7? How do you see it in the next 5-10 years?
To limit it as much as possible in numbers.
Just like TALA.
Yeah. Let me explain that, because it might sound a bit strange to limit the numbers, but I want the experts. So I can see on TALA, we are 60 plus, and the business is really, really going well for all the licenses. And it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. So my goal in the next few years would be to have the 3 niches we have today reaching maybe 60 to 80 members, maybe a little bit more, and that's it. We don't need more, because we will be covering 80% of the world, and it's fine enough. Of course, we're going to add time to time 1 or 2 here, like we do in TALA, for example. Last year, I think it was not my focus to add people. I think I had 1 or 2, something like that. We had a nice one in Japan, by the way, recently. It was very hard to get someone in Japan. Last year, maybe it was 6 or 5, whatever. It's not my focus. Of course, financially speaking, it's always good to add people and make more money, but it's not my first source of income. So I want to bring value first. Money always come after. Trust me. If you focus on money, you're not making money at the end. Mm-hmm. Focus on the value you bring, the money always follows. Always follows. So we were talking about patience before, so that's very important. So in the next 5 years, if we can get to this level and have a good size, big enough to bring value and to bring a very, very good experts in every part of the world, and try to keep it, as selective as it is for TALA today. That's the goal, really. So if you join as a shipsper expert, you can make sure that the one in Greece will be a shipsper expert, the one in Bahamas will be a shipsper expert, etc., etc. And same for the automotive. That's the goal. And then if you have 60 experts, sometimes it worst 500 freight forwarders doing general cargo, right? So it's not about the numbers, about the quality.
So last question about networks, and then we get into something personal before we end.
Yeah.
You guys have how many conferences throughout the year? Like the TALA event, how many events?
I have only one. I decided, yeah.
Okay, one, and then SR7 will have one now. So we're talking, you have 2 events.
Yes.
Like that you organize. Maybe not you.
Yes,
but a team.
I do myself.
You and your team that organizes it.
Yeah.
How do you, because this is something that I'm curious about, and I'm pretty sure that people that are watching also are curious about. How do you pick the cities and the countries that you host the events on?
Tell me about it. I just back from Cartagena, so that's why back Monday evening. So I was in Cartagena because what we're trying to do is, to be fair with everybody, is to try to do the event every year in different continents. So when I took over, I made the first one in Thailand. I'm very familiar with Thailand, so it was easy to organize. It's cheap as well, and also we always have this financial aspect to make sure that we keep it between 2,000 to 2,500, 600, everything included, hotel, food, and everything. So you have a budget to work on, and that's the very, very tricky part. And then we wanted to change every year because a lot of events are happening in Asia, and I think it's not fair for the Americans. North and South America. Europeans, we always fly 12
be the
hours,
ones
right?
Traveling, yeah.
So we said, let's change every year. So then after that, we did it in Turkey. It was amazing. And this year, it was actually last month. Yeah, last month. We did it in Morocco, in my country. So it was amazing.
Cool.
I really, really, really enjoyed it. And I was very, very happy to welcome everyone in my country. Everybody was happy. And now next year, we suppose to do it in North or South America, so in the Americas basically. But we have only 5 countries covered in this part of the world. Mm-hmm. So I've been to Cartagena because I would like to do it there. Might not happen, or it might, because I want to make sure that everybody's satisfied. But we're enforcing this year that everybody has to join, because we are not just a simple network. We're an alliance. So if you have...
especially if you only do one event.
Yeah. And you're the only one in the country as well. And there's only one event a year. So,
makes sense.
The Americans want to speak with the Singaporeans want to speak with the Canadians, want to speak with the Estonians, etc.
So before picking the country or the city, would you say that you need to have a contact beforehand?
I do in 3 steps. The first step is
uh-huh.
online. So checking online, checking the facilities, the venues, the city, the geopolitical, aspect of it, because it's changing all the time. There's always something. The venue is the hardest part, because you need to have a room big enough for everyone. You need to make sure that the staff are qualified to handle events. Of course, I bring also my staff because I don't trust the hotel staff
Definitely.
ever. So I have my staff. We are very organized. We try to do everything. Then once you have that and you have the right city, then you need to choose the date. And the date, we always try to do it a little bit before, a little bit after an MRO, because we are aerospace, so we do the MROs all the time. And sometimes it's not easy to do it in the same city, or, MROs are always Europe, for example.
You know what? In Dubai, they have the MRO and the breakbook in the same day, the
Yes.
same week and same days.
Yeah,
That's
and the same place, actually.
crazy to me.
So that's why we do the conference on the 6th to 9th of February, because 4th and 5th, you have the MRO Middle East, and you also have the breakbulk Middle East, which are both taking place at the World Trade Center, in Dubai. So people will come anyway for the MRO, and they will come also for the breakbulk. So 4th and 5th, and then the 6th we start the conference.
That's
so
smart.
that's what I'm trying to do, because people are traveling quite a lot. So we try to reduce the travel costs, reduce the time they are spending, outside of the country. So we always try to match it with some events. In TALA we try, but I need commitment. So I'm a bit picky on that. If someone is not committing to come to the conference, there is always someone else in the country qualified to be committed. So
That's good.
it's a hard decision to take.
That's good.
but You just take someone else.
All right. Last question. Actually, 2 questions.
Yeah.
How many languages do you speak? How many passports do you own? And or how many nationalities do you have? And why is it important in this space? I mean, I'm sure it is because of been doing OBC for a long time.
Yeah.
Speaking many languages was important. But does it apply also with the number of nationalities that you have and the reason why?
No, actually, it's just a life. I was born in France, so I speak French. Obviously, I grew up in France, so for 20 years was speaking French only, and then start moving around. You need to speak English, otherwise, out of French territory, it's almost useless. Almost.
Yeah.
There's few countries speaking French, but nobody understands what you're talking about. My mother tongue is Berber, so I don't like to say Berber because it's a long story, but it's Amazigh, so it's a dialect from south of Morocco.
Okay.
So what we call Shleh in Arabic and so French. And the Arabic in Morocco, which is not the same of the Arabic in the Middle East. So that's also different. We call it Darija.
Interesting.
So French, so Tashlahid, that's how we call it. Darija. And then I learned English because I just had no choice, right, when you travel. And then I learned the Russian. And then I learned Chinese because I was living in China as well. So I had no choice. When I arrived in China, nobody was speaking any word of English, or very few. My English was bad. So bad plus bad usually doesn't make a good mix. So I learned the Mandarin, but I can say I speak 5 because, in fact, 6, but my Mandarin is almost gone. Unfortunately, maybe I still understand people, but it's very, very hard for me to speak like I used to. And on the passport wise, I have 4 passports. So it's also just because of life, I was born in France, so I got the French passport, obviously. My both parents are Moroccan, so I have the Moroccan passport. So I was first Moroccan, and then you become French at 13 years old by some naturalization process, whatever. You're not French automatically when you're born in France with both foreign parents.
Yeah, they're trying to do that here.
Yeah, so it's you getting your nationality officially by a judge at 13 years old. Still have this document. So that's the second passport. And then the third passport was the Turkish passport for 2 reasons. First, I wanted to invest in Turkey. And second of all, I just freaking love the country.
You love Turkey?
I love
Any city
Turkey.
specifically, or the whole country?
There is one small city that I really, really love is Alachati.
Mm-hmm.
It's close to Izmir. I don't know, it's my small heaven. I love it. Shishme, it's not far away from it. That's the part what I really, really, really enjoy. But I can tell you so many cities. It's more about the culture, about the people, about the kindness of the people, about obviously the food, about a lot of things in Turkey that I really, really appreciate. And I don't know how to explain that, but every time I land in Turkey, I just feel home. But I really, really feel home. I feel like I belong to here. So I'm not sure, maybe in my, family tree, maybe we have some Ottoman people, maybe, I don't know, but I really, really feel deeply connected with Turkey. So I decided to invest there, and they have a CBI, Citizenship by Investment program. I took part of it in 2021. Yeah, 2021.
Oh, just recently.
Yeah.
Well, not
I'm
too
not
recent.
sure now,
It's been 5 years now.
Yeah, it's
Crazy
almost
how
5
time
years,
flies.
Yeah, and it was COVID time, so it was a good time to make some
Whoa.
investment. Let's say, when everybody's
Yeah.
is tying up their money, I think that's the time to invest. That's my opinion, but that's another.
All right. So
topic.
5 languages for passports.
So yeah, the Turkish, and then I got the British passport because I spent
course.
8 years in Britain, and I'm very proud of this passport as well. And again, it's not just to have a passport, but as I said before, I really, really feel British, even though I don't sound to.
Sometimes you do. Sometimes you do some
really?
words. Yes.
Okay. I can make really,
Yeah.
hey, lovely. I can try, but yeah, I really love, the British people, the British. I'm very proud of this passport, very, very, and actually I use it all the time.
All the time.
Like the French passport is next to the Moroccan, and just
when you go there.
I just sleep. Yeah, just when I go to France to visit my family, because my parents, brothers and sisters are in Paris. So I use my French passport when I go to France. Otherwise, to be honest, I always, I have my passports with me, and I always take the blue one. I don't know why. I just...
Because you love it so much.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, last part, lessons. What are the lessons that you want to leave the audience with? People are watching, maybe your team is watching, will be watching for sure. People in the logistics industry, or maybe network owners, some things. Or let's put it this way. Okay, if you could have a conversation with your own self of 20 years old, what would you tell him to do or not to do?
Yeah, 2 things. First, do exactly what you're doing, because I left when I was 21. So keep going, keep trusting yourself. What I would say also, stop rushing. Stop rushing, take time. Patience is a virtue, definitely, just take time, don't rush. But follow your dream, try, test, fail, stand again. Just don't give up, because there's so much opportunity out there that if you stand still somewhere, it's not gonna come to knock your door. So that's what I would say, but patience. I think that's the biggest lesson I have learned the last 20 years, being patient.
That's nice. Thank you for sharing that. I read the other day, I probably won't say specifically how I read it, but it was something along the lines of, you can never connect the dots looking forward, but looking back on what happened throughout your life. So now hearing it, how you got into OBC and then to TALA and then to SR7, and how it happened, it was always because you were out there on a plane, on a hotel, or you had a conversation with maybe a key person that maybe if you think about it, if you never took that plane, maybe we wouldn't be here. Right?
Exactly.
We wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
If, for example, my mom wouldn't think coming to the U.S. was a good idea, and maybe because one of the plans that she had, it was between the United States or Switzerland.
Yeah.
So I might not be here. I might be in Switzerland, or maybe still in Ecuador.
And same for my family. I would be in my village in the middle of Morocco, and you would be in your village as well, or whatever, So it's just life, You need to take opportunities as they come. And you always need to try. You have nothing to lose. I don't believe you have something to lose, like, especially when you're young, you always have papa and mama behind. Yeah, so I came back from China and other places, and believe it or not, my bed was still in my bedroom. It was still there.
Wow.
They were just like, I said, but why don't you take the bed away? I don't know, it's your bed, it's here. For years and years, the bed was still there. So what you gonna lose? Nothing. Okay, worst case scenario, you're back to the same point, to your bedroom.
And you can start again.
And that's it. Simple as that. So I always would say to younger generation, I mean, we're still very young, both of us. I'm getting to 40 soon, but...
You're young.
I would say just try. Just go out there and just try. And see what is happening,
Well, thank you, my friend Ahmed.
Thanks for having me.
My brother,
again,
for,
really.
Listening to your story has been refreshing to know
Thank
a little
you.
bit more about your story, your experience in TALA, in SR7, the plans for the future. It's something that the space or the audience, the people that are watching us will benefit from, I'm 100% sure. And you guys who are watching us, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.